Hey everybody, Rich with Our Little Homestead, and today we're at Meadowcroft Rock Shelter in beautiful rural Washington, Pennsylvania. And there's also a historic village here, which is really cool. So not only are we looking way back in time to 20,000 years ago, if you know anything about the Meadowcroft Rock Shelter, I think it is actually the oldest known, what would you call it, traces of civilization here in the Americas. So it's right here in Pennsylvania too, just 2 hours from our home. But also they have a historic village here dating back from the Native Americans when they inhabited this land to when European settlers started coming out here on the frontier, and they kind of document it and work you through the history of not only the native populations but those first settlers out here on the frontier as well. It's really cool. They have lots of friendly, helpful staff. It's something you really got to see if you're in, I don't know, southwestern Pennsylvania or parts of West Virginia, Ohio. Come over here and check it out. We haven't been to the rock shelter yet, so we're gonna video that because I think that's probably the most interesting thing. So we'll go on a voyage together. So this is a covered bridge that's here on the land. What a beautiful covered bridge it is too. We've seen a couple covered bridges in our time here in Pennsylvania, and this one's pretty nice. It even has an advertisement written on the inside of it. Ask for Dilly's liniment. I will have to ask for it, although I doubt they sell it. But you can trade here, so. I'd love to have a covered bridge. I don't have anywhere for the bridge to go to though. So this is the traditional church, and probably what would have doubled as a schoolhouse too. If you look, it kind of feels a lot like, as my wife said, Little House on the Prairie. And I'll be honest, it feels like Little House on the Prairie in here. It's pretty cool. I love the little wood stove right in the middle of the class or church group setting. I don't know if it's functional, but it's still really cool. And we're gonna go see the blacksmith now.
Gracious.
My name is Dwayne. I am a blacksmith. If you guys have any questions, I'm a big fan of questions. Usually I answer.
How big of an anvil is that?
150 and about 100.
Nice.
They work pretty well for what I need.
No, you're not doing anything huge, are you?
Can't.
No.
This teeny tiny forge.
That's true.
I mean, really, anything over about 2 feet long. I'm going to make a fork, and this is a good stock for it, but I don't have any tongs. They're a good size to hold on to it. I have to make myself a handle first.
So on a typical like homestead, would a lot of people be doing this on them have their own setup kind of going?
It would depend. Yes and no. I mean, pretty much every, like if they took like the wagon trains and stuff, like if you're going for a long distance, you probably have like a stump anvil on board.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically just like a tiny anvil with a spike on the end of it. You just cut a stump and drive it down into it, so you got a little bit of something to work on. Those were very common, but that's kind of more on the lines of quick repair work.
Sure.
You know, somebody like a handyman at home doing stuff. They wouldn't necessarily have all the tools and know how to do everything, but they might be able to like fix a tire that broke or straighten an axle or something. You know, straighten something that they needed to straighten. They probably go to a blacksmith for anything complicated. Later on, like 1700s, blacksmithing was a huge profession that was super important.
I don't need a stick for this one. All right. Young man.
Yes.
Dipping Susie's hair in the inkwell again. Super and face the class, put your arms up like this. Palms up. Palms up. All right. Please don't drop these books. They're over 100 years old. Okay. All right, so set the timer for 10 minutes. And if you drop a book, your time starts over.
For doing what?
Dipping Susie's hair in the inkwell.
Oh.
And then he talked back to the teacher, and I think he was cheating on his math test. Super rude. You have to leave that boner on the rest of the day. Sit with the girls and then play with them at recess, too.
Oh, no.
Nowadays, you would get it okay.
Very
Go
good.
back home and
So did you start the timer?
Yeah.
Where's the timer?
I'm counting one time.
Wait, I lost count.
I'll start over now. I lost count, yeah.
Would this be something that they really have to do?
Yes, this is actually mostly a punishment for the girls, because those big, strong farm boys could hold these books up all day, right? Does anyone want to see what the boys would be doing?
Yeah.
Besides wearing the bonnet?
Yeah.
Are you volunteering for that?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, unless somebody else wants to go.
Anybody else want to volunteer?
You're an excellent example.
Do I gotta keep the bonnet?
I mean, if you want to.
No.
Okay, young man to the blackboard there, please. Pick a circle. Any circle.
I'll go with this one.
Really? That's the circle you want.
Do I have to stick my nose on it?
Yeah. That's the one you picked.
Do I have to get on my knees to do it?
No, you need to bend at the waist.
Oh, I got bend at the
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's like,
You can pick another circle.
Alright, why don't we go with this one?
Oh, that's the most popular one. Okay. How many of these do you think he deserves?
all of them.
Remember that thing?
All of them.
Here you go. You ready for it? Here it comes. Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Here it comes. One. Here it comes. Two. Get ready. Thank you for volunteering. Very good. Thank you.
Melt it down into a liquid. They'd skim the top to get rid of all the little bits of bone and hair and bugs and things like that. And then they would start and they would get candles.
It's just a string, right?
A string, yep. They would have bought their string whenever they'd been in town
Alright.
to get supplies and things like that, so that they'd be prepared, because this is the only time of the year they make candles. They make candles one time. So there are more people coming. So come on in, folks. So when we have school groups here, I like to have fun with the kids by saying, okay, you're all kids. How many candles do you think you'd burn if you lived in this house? Because the King family, actually, this is an actual family home. So here you go, guys. It's what, like 1 o'clock?
Oh.
Yeah, it's too, they got holes too.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cloudy, so a lot of cloudy days, but man, do we have it easy. So, what do you think? How many candles would you have to make?
How many candles we have
6 or
lit?
7? Yeah, it's great. We have kids that'll say, you need 20 candles. Whoa, that's
5 is
a
what
lot.
I was
We
thinking.
normally get it down to like 5, so just to make it the math easy. So you have to make 1,800 candles, and this is the only time you're doing it.
That's why the king taxed them.
What's that?
That's why they were taxed.
Well, yeah. So and for each candle, you have to dip it 100 times to get a decent candle. So the tallow is what they use. Now they could have used beeswax. Come here. We had a nice beeswax candle, beehive, where you just sent the kids out into the woods looking for wild bees, but you don't get very much wax. You don't get much wax. These burn really nice, and they're slow, and they smell good.
You can step up to it and you step and throw. It helps.
Hey, you hit it.
If it hit with it sounded like it hit with a blade.
You got it.
So close.
You were so close.
I hit it every
You
time.
did. So this is the rock shelter. But check it out. That doesn't do it any justice.
It's huge.
It's huge. I can see why they call it a rock shelter.
Look up on the screen there, you'll see what it looked like in 1973 prior to them starting any excavations here. So as you watch the video I will be showing you, they will talk about the stone ring fire pit. So you can see that stone ring fire pit right there on the right side, kind of in the mid-ground of the slide.
Well, everybody, that concludes our visit to the Meadowcroft rock shelter. And, you know, honestly, it is what it is. It's an archaeological site, maybe one of the most important in all of the Americas, as far as dating when, you know, our area or region was having people come and go through it. But it's really cool, very interesting. They've got a lot to see here, a lot to do here. Most everybody's pretty knowledgeable about what they're doing. They talked a lot about canning and preserving food because we are in the fall season now. And you know, we do that all the time, so we're kind of like, you know, being nitpicky snobs about it, but that's just us. And yeah, so I guess people have been here for a long, long time. They're closing up for the day. Great visit. Come on down to Washington, PA, and come check it out. Till next time, be good to one another.